we're sending up prayers. You know, he was a person who always dealt with problems and dealt with pretty much everything that was adversity with prayers. So, you know, it's only right that when he's in his moment of need that we try to offer prayer as well. You get me? For some of y'all that don't know the story of DMX, not only was he one of the greatest entertainers that ever came through hip hop, but he's someone who's had a very up and down life. It's a very roller coaster, you know, situation. And, you know, for some people who might like, he's the epitome of what addiction does to somebody, if you ask me. And it's never been something that you should shame him about. He's been always open with his struggles, you know, the highs, the lows, and he's brought us everywhere. So, you know, he's one of those people that's so positive. I'm hoping he makes it out. But I'm gonna share this prayer with you, and I'm gonna share one clip before we really get into. We don't get into other stuff in the stream, but I know a lot of y'all don't know too much about DMX. I'm gonna share a prayer for by him, and then I'm gonna share a story which I watched this morning. I ain't gonna lie, it hit me. You get me, especially given the current situation he's in. I'm not one of those people. You know me. Like when it came to the overdose of Fredo Santana, I'm not the person who, you know, gets at the addicted people and claim that they should have the same self control that maybe I have. You know, listen, addiction is a real thing. You know, through my mom and other people, I kind of realized my father was an addict. So, you know, it's something that you learn that you might be faced with, and shit, even me, I know I be drinking a lot, but you try to manage it, and you know we all live life, but you know you hope that sometimes addiction doesn't take control of your life. DMX had everything. He had everything in the world, but addiction is a real thing. I'm gonna share this prayer, but if you never understood the story, and I hope you guys do some research because he's literally a legend. He's up there with Jay-Z to me. You feel me? Top 10, top 20 all time. One of the best runs, or actually he has two runs, which I would probably argue with, that really, you know, impacted hip hop a lot. Hey, listen, I've learned, and if you never known, you know, when I used to do the war in Chirac, yeah, I learned a lot from that. You know, like I'm proud about most of the stuff that you know I did with the war in Chirac, but I was definitely I learned that sometimes judging a man and not understanding his pain and his trauma is not understanding the full story. You know what I mean? When you see somebody on the street who might be in a bad situation, you make a quick assumption. Oh, that's a bum. Oh, that's a crackhead. That's this, that, and third. But a lot of times we don't know their addiction. We don't know their pain. We don't know what their life story is. And that's one of the things that I know the war in Chirac kind of taught me. Because, you know, I came from a different upbringing. So I was judging some people who all they knew was a different upbringing, and you get to realize you should probably consider and have some empathy for their side too. Really quickly before I get back into the regular program, I gotta play this. I remember when Fredo told, I forgot, I think it was Russ, about the pain he was going through watching his brothers, his family die every day in Chicago. And he said he was taking lean to self medicate. And to every kid in the suburb watching that, they probably said, get the fuck out of here. But that shit was real. DMX is DMX is one of those people. The grammar, thank you, bro. I'm gonna turn it up. Okay. DMX is one of those people. DMX is one of those people where, like, when he's talking about the pain that he's been through, it's 100% real, man. And I watched this. I'm about to play right now this morning, and a tear almost came to my eye, just like realizing that whatever you're gonna say about DMX, if you know him or you know his history, you got to acknowledge the amount of pain he was in. Again, if you don't know, just please allow me the opportunity to play this for you, okay?
Home from being in these institutions from the age of 7 to 14. You know what I mean? And this guy, Reddy Ron, you know what I mean? He was like an older brother to me. And I looked up to him like an older brother, you know what I'm saying? I love this guy like an older brother, you know, I don't have any brothers. But this guy, man, this guy, he introduced me to what would be the best part of my life, which would be the rap. But he also, at the end of my life, is blessed with the curse. I didn't smoke cigarettes. I didn't smoke weed. I didn't do anything. I'm 14 years old. So he came back with a blunt rolled up. He likes the blunt. And I said, I was impressed. Well, I don't really smoke, nigga. That. And he passed the blunt around. And, wow. It, and I hit the blunt, and I'm like, I never felt like this. Like, it just me up. I'm like, the f. And, I later found out that he laced the blunt with crack. My thing, why would you do that to a child?
Right.
And this nigga like 30, you know what I'm saying? And he knew how I looked up to him. Why would you do that to somebody who looks up to you like this? I mean, a monster was born. A monster was born. I mean, and that's I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
I only play that to, you know, for some people who, you don't get addiction, and you also don't get that, even though some people are going through some things, you never know. Sometimes you have to step back and look at their life history. That's DMX's story. He was introduced to some of the drugs that, became almost like the punchline for people to clown him about when they did clown him, but not by choice. He was a kid. Somebody gave him something that was laced. That substance got him hooked. And even though he found the heights of the heights in terms of success and money and fame, that addiction was still always there. So, the situation he's in now, my prayers go out to him. We love X. He's always been a walking testimony of someone who's resilient, but someone who's real despite everything he's accomplished. I'm hoping he pulls through with this particular situation as well. You know? All right. All right. Chat, please chill with the toxicness. Again, it's a moment that even some of y'all that's laughing or whatever, you might not get it because you don't know X. X is famous Dex. X is so many of these dudes. X is a lot of these rappers who you see the deterioration, like despite the success they've gotten, we see the deterioration right before our very eyes. So, like, I mean, even Uzi, who was about to be, he was addicted for a minute. Meek admitted he was. Most of these dudes become addicted to substances. All I'm saying is that we don't have to sit here and clown them all. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm gonna try to change and lighten the mood a bit. My prayers go out to DMX and his family. I could only imagine what they're going through. I could only imagine what they've been through. I could only imagine, especially with COVID times. I heard, you know, his family had to go see him or see the condition he's in one at a time. They couldn't even go as a family like together. That's tough. That's really tough. So, my prayers go out to them. And of course, the Rough Rider families. My prayers go out to Swiss Beats, of course. Just seeing the outpouring of love from a whole generation who he influenced. He was their hero. He was the macho dude from that era. So, we're hoping that he makes a full recovery, but I'll keep you guys in the loop. felt so sad watching that shit because to watch DMX, someone so successful and his life has been ruined, altered, just changed by drugs. He got incarcerated for so many, so many years of his life, and a lot of it had to do with drugs. He had kids all over the place that he wasn't there for, and he would prioritize other things over his kids and his family. But honestly, some of the things were just out of his control. Was an addict, So I share sincere sympathy, and that's why you don't see me here judging him or blaming him for some situations that I don't think he could control. But